Shabbat Shalom, my friends. Well, our combined Sedra this week is Chukat-Balak, Numbers 19:1 and following. We're also in that special season when we are asked to read a section of Pirkei Avot each and every Shabbat. And if you're asking for a suggestion, I recommend Rabbi Shmuley Yankovitz's Pirkei Avot, a social justice commentary in paperback. The text brings a magnificent ancient book of Jewish ethics into easy conversation with the social justice challenges of our own day. Oh, you want the book again? Pirkei Avot, a social justice commentary by Yankowitz. I enjoy watching magicians ply their trade. Don't you? I know it's a trade. It's a skill. I know that everything that I am being shown, everything that I think that I am witnessing, actually at that very moment, I know that I am being tricked, deceived, misled, misdirected, and bamboozled. But I still love magic shows. Once in Las Vegas, I saw individuals brought up onto the stage from the audience one by one. Then, as music and mirrors and stagecraft did their thing, they began to disappear, one by one, before my eyes. After a minute or two, each one of them resurfaced alongside of their original seat. I don't know how. I don't even want to know how or why. I was just given a glimpse into the mysteries of the universe as I laughed and applauded and honestly called out for more. Sometimes mysteries are just things currently unknown, but which will one day yield to human inquiry into the scientific method, so that eventually they won't be mysteries any longer. Some mysteries are clever human constructs, intentionally created to convey a sense of what we might call the great unknown. How do those aces keep popping up? How can the magician's assistant be cut in half and then, with a flourish, appear before us unscathed? And Dorothy, who really is behind that curtain? These are mysteries that serve as momentary entertainment. But some mysteries are likely never to be solved, at least not in the imaginable future. When we confront those mysteries, we start using words like, oh, awesome, unbelievable, miraculous, overwhelming. When we find ourselves in a desert at night, totally dark, looking up, no light leaking in from neighboring settlements, and we feel drawn into the galaxies and clusters of stars, hints of vastness beyond our understanding, we lose ourselves in a way that seems to prove that we human beings are hardwired to be awestruck by the very reality of existence. We are humbled and left kind of breathless. Why do we respond the way we do? Is that vastness a part of who we are? Is who we are a part of that vastness? Life is that kind of a mystery, fragile, demanding, brief, filled with possibilities and obstacles. Life is that kind of unfathomable mystery, and so is death. The first part of our double Sedra of Chukat-Balak is devoted to helping us cope with just such an unfathomable mystery. Purity and impurity touch each other here, recoil from each other here, and can even heal each other here. Contradictions abound. Death brings life. Out of ashes, renewal is possible. And life, not the same life, but life, nevertheless, is restored. Our Sedra speaks of a red heifer, a young cow, symbol of nurturing life, perfect in every aspect of its physical being, having the power to remove the contamination of death from us. The perfect redness of the heifer reminds us of blood. Bedamai chai, you shall live by your blood. And then this perfect heifer, perfectly red heifer, is slaughtered and is burned to ashes. But those ashes now have the power to push death aside, to remove its contaminating stain, to restore mourners to the community. Mystery. Profound mystery. And that mystery is deepened because those who prepare the ashes are rendered impure, while those who receive the ashes are rendered pure. Para aduma, the red heifer. The Midrash expresses the mystery in its own style. The law of the red heifer is called a chukah, and that means a commandment from God which we never could have created through our own reason. The great commentator Rashi threw up his hands and said, I have tried to fathom this with reason, but it is far from me. Far from Rashi. Wow. King Solomon, the epitome of wisdom in Jewish lore, has this statement attributed to him. I succeeded in understanding the whole Torah. But as soon as I read this chapter about the red heifer, I searched and probed and questioned, but it was far from me. When challenged by about the paraduma by his disciples, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai stated, by your life, neither do the dead defile, nor do the ashes of the red heifer purify. But God said, it is a chukah, a statute that I have laid down, a decree that I have decreed, and human beings are not authorized to violate my divine decree. For Yochanan, thus, what purifies is our willingness to follow a divine law precisely because we do not understand it. Now, the search for and efforts to successfully breed red heifers continues to our very day. Those efforts might eventually succeed. Some say they have. But efforts to discover the true Kohen Gadol, to conduct the actual ceremony, that might be a bit more difficult. And efforts to provide for compelling explanations of what's going on here will be the most difficult of all. Perhaps what's going on is a startling admission about the power of death to confound our often mindless wandering through life. Death. Death can be encountered as making a mockery of our efforts to find meaning and purpose in life. Death is the perfect reminder that from the greatest among us to those somehow on the opposite end of the scale, most of our efforts to push back the inevitable can never and will never succeed. vapor of vapors, we are reminded. All is vanity. Most of that for which we strive will not survive our days. Existence is a mystery. Existence is a mystery, the purposes of which, if even there happen to be purposes, will forever be beyond our grasp. So what do we then do? What do we want to do? Just shrivel up? Cease seeking for beauty and truth and goodness? Stop trying to bring tikkun to a brutally fractured world? Convince ourselves that because we are not granted a clear vision as to what all of this is about, we should focus on tending our own gardens. And that's simply enough. Is that enough? Maybe our Sedra is holding out a hand to us, saying, admit it. We just don't know whether life itself has any cosmic meaning. But we can make individual and group decisions that serve to create meaning, real meaning for us. In the midst of profound mystery, we can choose to decide that we can make our lives meaningful. We can choose to give holiness to our acts. We can push back, if only temporarily, that which death represents. We may not have a paradum, a red heifer, but we do have our minds, our souls, our spirits, our dreams, our yearnings, our shared communities in the deepest darkness of a desert night. We can find a way together to open ourselves up to stars whose shimmering presence can connect us to the magnificent mysteries of the cosmos. Maybe the red heifer. We need not be indifferent to its possibilities. Maybe. Shabbat Shalom. See you next week.